There's not a single verse in the Quran where Muhammad performed a miracle. You have the opposite where the Quran says he didn't perform any miracles. In fact, he's just a mere warner. Do you have a verse that says otherwise?
Welcome back to Creed's Collision. In this short clip, you'll see how Muslim tries by all means to attribute a miracle to Muhammad, but fails because Godlogic demanded a verse to prove his argument, but he could not provide even one. Please do well to like the video, drop your thoughts at the comment section, and subscribe to Creed's Collision. I greatly appreciate you for every bit of engagement. Let's watch
Hadith found in our narrations, in our biographical data, and the Quran is referencing that specific event and is saying that those disbelievers in the time of the messenger, they turned away even though the sign was given to them. So come on, bro, we need to be honest with each other.
So to be clear, you're saying that in the Hadith, it says Muhammad split the moon. So when the Quran is talking about the hour has come and says that the moon is split as a sign of Judgment Day, it's referring to the event that the Hadith is talking about, that Muhammad split the moon. Is that right?
Yeah, the Hadith will just be historical narrations. So from our historical narrations, you know, whether it's in the Hadith, whether it's in the Surah, whether external sources, yeah, it's referencing that event.
Yeah, so but that's why I'm confused, because it seems here like I'm just reading the Quran. I'm just reading it. Nowhere does it say anybody split the moon. Nowhere does it say does it attribute this action to anyone, but it places it in the context as a sign for Judgment Day is coming. On top of that, you have the Quran. Now, I agree with you that your Quran, your Hadith do attribute way after the fact. It attributes miracles to Muhammad.
Wait, after the fact?
Yes, after.
Notice what just happened in this debate. The Muslim speaker keeps importing meanings into the Quran that simply are not there in the text itself. In Surah 54, the Quran says, "The hour has drawn near and the moon has split." But nowhere in the passage does it say Muhammad split the moon. Nowhere does it say this was a miracle performed by Muhammad. The verse is presented in the context of judgment signs, not as proof of prophethood. And this is exactly the point Godlogic exposed. Muslims rely on later Hadith literature written generations after Muhammad to reinterpret the Quran and insert a miracle into the text. But if the Quran is supposed to be clear and detailed, why does it need outside narrations to explain such a massive miracle? A miracle as enormous as splitting the moon should be unmistakably stated. What's even more damaging is this. If the moon literally split in half, where is the global historical evidence? Civilizations around the world observe the skies constantly, yet there's no reliable worldwide record of such an event. So the Muslim apologist is forced to lean entirely on later Islamic traditions instead of the Quran itself. Godlogic's point was simple and devastating. The Quran alone does not clearly teach that Muhammad split the moon. That claim is being read back into the text through later Hadith traditions.
The Hadith comes way after. The Hadith come way after. The Quran, you agree that, did the Hadith come in the same time as the Quran?
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Do you know what?
What's your manuscript that you have of the Hadith?
All right. So, see your question. What manuscript do you have? Assumes that the Hadith is a written tradition. That's not true. The Hadith is an oral tradition, meaning it's subject to the historicity of source criticism, not textual criticism.
Oh, it wasn't a written tradition?
It's mainly an oral tradition.
Was it a written tradition as well?
No, so in textual, in historicity, you have things called oral traditions, written traditions, and mixed traditions. The Hadith is mainly an oral tradition.
So it wasn't a written tradition?
Just because it has written methodology incorporated to it doesn't mean it's a written tradition. It's mainly an oral
just because it has a written methodology to it, and manuscripts and accepted manuscripts and collected manuscripts, it doesn't mean that it was a written tradition.
When you look at how we verify our Hadith,
brother, it's okay. I don't care about that, brother. I don't care about that. You can have that for now. I do not care about that. My point is this, okay? You have the Hadith that comes after Muhammad.
I disagree.
That's attributing miracles to him. Let's even say it comes in the same time as the Quran. Both of these things are coming in the same time as the Quran. You got it. So you have the Hadith that's saying that Muhammad performed miracles, while it's contradicting the Quran that says Muhammad is just a messenger who performed no miracles. That's your problem, not mine. You have a contradiction between your Hadith and your Quran. So which one are you going to go with?
All right. So the thing is that the Quran is not revealed as a book like this, right? It's revealed in a certain historical context after certain scenarios and certain events that happen. The Quran gets revealed. Certain passages get revealed.
Watch how the Muslim speaker keeps shifting the argument instead of dealing with the contradiction. Godlogic exposed. First, he admits the Hadith literature is mainly an oral tradition that developed after Muhammad. Then those same later narrations suddenly become the source for Muhammad's miracles. Miracles the Quran itself repeatedly downplays or outright denies. And that's the problem. The Quran constantly says Muhammad is only a messenger. When people demanded signs and miracles from him, the Quran repeatedly responds that signs belong to Allah alone. Yet centuries of Hadith literature later build up stories of Muhammad splitting the moon, making water flow from his fingers, and performing supernatural acts. Godlogic cornered him perfectly. If the Quran is complete and clear, why do you need later oral reports to give Muhammad miracles the Quran never clearly attributes to him? The Muslim speaker tried to escape by talking about context and revelation circumstances, but context does not erase contradiction. You cannot claim the Quran is the highest authority, then use later Hadith traditions to override its plain reading. Either Muhammad performed miracles and the Quran should clearly say so, or the Quran presents him primarily as a warner and messenger without the miraculous signs later traditions invented around him. That tension between the Quran and Hadith is exactly what Godlogic exposed in this debate.
Can you show me any verse in the Quran that says Muhammad performed a miracle? Because I showed you multiple that says he didn't and he's just a warner. Can you show me one? Give me one verse of the Quran that says Muhammad performed a miracle.
Didn't we just read a verse?
We read a verse that had nothing to do with Muhammad. Where's Muhammad mentioned in there?
Yeah, because Muhammad is the one that talks the Quran, right?
Muhammad is the one that what?
Isn't Muhammad the one that talks the Quran and reveals the Quran?
According to you, I guess he is the one who revealed the Quran.
Okay, so if Muhammad talks to the Quran, he said, then we know that he said, the hour has come and the moon has been split, right? So what would he be referencing?
By who?
When he said the moon has been split.
He's clearly, it seems to me, he's clearly referencing Judgment Day, and that Judgment Day is near. He says nothing about himself or anybody splitting the moon.
No, because in the next verses, he talks about how the disbelievers turned away, even though that was a sign. So he references
wait. Where does it say that they turned away at that sign?
Read the verses.
I'll read the verse again. It says, the hour has come, and the hour has come near, and the moon is split. And if they see a miracle, they turn away and say, passing magic.
Right.
And they denied and followed their inclinations, but for every matter is a time of settlement. Where the heck does it say that they turned away from this miracle? It made a general statement about the disbelievers.
Well, the thing is, when it says, and if they see a sign. So what does verse 2 have to do with verse 1? It's describing what's in verse 1 as a sign.
Where do you
get that mentions when they see a sign. Because it says, and if they see a sign. Okay. After mentioning verse 1.
Where does it say Muhammad performed that sign, brother? It doesn't say even what you said, but even going with you, where does it say Muhammad performed the sign of splitting?
Right, beautiful. So if
you're going to say beautiful, you better have a verse.
Just wait. See it? My friend Logic, if Muhammad spoke these words and he said, the hour has come near and the moon has been split, he must be referencing a certain event, correct? Right? Right or not?
So you don't have a verse?
All right. So
this exchange completely exposes the weakness of the Islamic argument. Godlogic kept asking one simple question: show me one verse in the Quran where Muhammad performs a miracle. And notice the Muslim speaker could not produce a single clear verse. Instead, he keeps assuming things into the text. Surah 54 says the hour has drawn near and the moon has split, but the verse never says Muhammad split the moon. It never attributes the act to Muhammad at all. The chapter is about judgment and signs of the end times. That's the plain reading. Then when pressed, the Muslim apologist jumps to verse 2 and claims the sign must refer to the moon splitting. But even if it does, the text still never says Muhammad performed it. That detail is imported later from Hadith traditions, not from the Quran itself. And this is exactly the contradiction Godlogic exposed. The Quran repeatedly presents Muhammad as only a warner and messenger, while later Hadith literature turns him into a miracle-working prophet. The Muslim speaker tried to force Muhammad into the passage by saying Muhammad spoke the Quran, so he must be referencing himself. But that's not evidence, that's assumption. A clear miracle claim should say plainly, Muhammad split the moon, but the Quran never says that. The Hadith says it later. That's why the argument keeps collapsing under scrutiny.
If he is referencing an event,
I'll tell you what event he's talking about.
okay.
The hour has come near. Is the hour that has come near, is that an event?
The signs that Prophet
So what he's talking about is freaking Judgment Day. That's the event.
So wait. According to you,
do you have a verse, Habibi? Do you have a verse where it says Muhammad split the moon, or Muhammad performed this sign, or Muhammad performed any sign?
One verse. According to you, I just want to understand your position. So according to you, this verse is speaking about.
Let me be clear in my position. There's not a single verse in the Quran where Muhammad performed a miracle. You have the opposite, where the Quran says he didn't perform any miracles. In fact, he's just a mere warner. Do you have a verse that says otherwise?
Yes, 54:1. I'm going to tell you why. Your position, just wait, bro. You're having a conversation, bro. Just wait. I have a question for you.
It's the conversation is done. We're in circles. It's over.
Just wait.
What is there to wait for? Are you going to give me a verse, or are we?
I genuinely want to know. There's something I genuinely want to know. I want to understand from you. So your position is 54:1 would be referencing the Day of Judgment, and it's saying that on the Day of Judgment, the moon is going to be split.
It's one of the signs of the Day of Judgment.
Right. So when it says it has been split, what does that mean?
That means it's a sign. It's a sign.
Yeah,
it's a sign.
It says that the moon already has been split.
It sounds like a prophetic sign to me. Clearly.
Yeah, that the moon has been split, and the moon is being split. That is a sign that the Day of Judgment is near. Correct?
Yeah, that is near.
Right. So the moon already split, and that is a sign. Right?
Not that the moon, like, this is prophetic language. It's prophetic end time Judgment Day language. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So you're metaphorizing the text, basically. I'm going.
I don't think I'm whatever you say. Making this a metaphor.
Godlogic completely exposed the inconsistency here. The Muslim speaker keeps trying to force Surah 54 into being a miracle story about Muhammad, but the actual text never says Muhammad split the moon, not once. That's the key issue. Notice how every time Godlogic asks for a direct verse, the response shifts into interpretation, assumptions, and philosophy about language, but interpretation is not evidence. If Muhammad truly performed one of the greatest miracles in history, literally splitting the moon, why can't the Quran plainly say Muhammad split the moon by Allah's permission? Instead, the text says the hour has drawn near and the moon has split in the context of judgment and end time signs. Then the Muslim apologist accuses Godlogic of metaphorizing the text, while he himself is inserting Muhammad into a verse where Muhammad is never even mentioned. That's the irony. The Quran talks about the nearness of judgment, but later Hadith traditions reinterpret it into a miracle narrative centered on Muhammad. And Godlogic's challenge remained unanswered the entire time. Produce one explicit Quran verse where Muhammad performs a miracle, just one. Instead of giving a direct verse, the argument depended entirely on assumptions and later narrations outside the Quran. That's why the position fell apart under scrutiny.
It says the hour has come, thank you. The hour has come near and the moon has split. Right. So if the moon splitting is connected with Judgment Day coming.
Right.
So unless you want to say the moon split already, Is Judgment Day anywhere near of this event of the moon splitting? If that happened
I'm exactly agreeing with you. The moon has been split, and that is a sign that the day of judgment is near. Exactly.
That's not what I'm saying.
Then what are you saying?
I'm saying that one of the signs of the day of judgment is the moon splitting. That's what it seems like it's saying.
Amazing. Yeah.
You're saying that the moon has already been split, right?
Yeah, because it says that.
So if the moon has already been split, was Judgment Day anywhere near?
It says that this is a sign. So yes, the sign happened.
A sign of what?
A sign of the day of judgment being near.
Is Judgment Day near?
Yes, it is.
This was 1,400 years ago, right?
Yeah, but do you know that according to our tradition, eschatological traditions, that one of the signs of the day of judgment, one of the main signs of the day of judgment, is that Prophet Muhammad gets born and that he gets sent to the Arabs and performs miracles. This is one of the signs of the day of judgment according to us in our eschatological traditions.
You're not answering my question. Was Judgment Day near when the moon was split?
Yes, it is near. Yes.
So 1,400 years apart is near?
Yes. This is according to our hadith.
Hey, brother, you got it. I ain't going to argue with you. You got it. I ain't going to argue with you. Appreciate the conversation, man.
Hey, wait. Thank you.
Of course. Take care. Take care, bro.
Godlogic completely cornered the argument here. The Muslim speaker admitted that the moon supposedly split 1,400 years ago, yet the Quran says it was a sign that Judgment Day is near, so now near suddenly means over 1,000 years later. That destroys the plain meaning of the passage, but the biggest problem still remains unanswered. The Quran never says Muhammad split the moon, not once. The entire claim depends on later Hadith traditions forcing Muhammad into the text. Godlogic's point was devastatingly simple. If this was truly Muhammad's greatest miracle, why does the Quran never clearly say he performed it? Instead, Muslims have to rely on assumptions, reinterpretations, and hadith literature written long after the Quran itself. That's why the argument collapsed at the end.
Islam. The moon split as a sign that Judgment Day was near. Judgment Day never came. 1,400 years passed. It's near. You got it, bro. You got it. I ain't got nothing to argue with you. You go ahead and enjoy Islam, big dog. Go ahead and enjoy Islam. Have fun. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Excellent question. Logic, out of curiosity, Jesus says he's coming soon in Revelation. So what was the issue of him saying Judgment Day is near? Jesus says that he's coming soon. In the Greek, the word means suddenly. It's coming suddenly. It's not a time frame of I'm right around the corner. No, but it's sudden. His coming is sudden. That's different from Muhammad over here talking about the hour has come near and the moon has split. Make sense? Whew.
If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you subscribe to Creed's Collision, smash that like button, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's keep exposing the contradictions and defending the truth. And if you want to give your life to follow Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, make sure you indicate interest. I will follow up with you. God bless you.